What's up, you lot? Different setup today. We're outside. Just wanted to film this video on my balcony because just wanted to try something new, really. It's fucking cold out here, which is why I got a hat on, because that's gonna do something, right? Rather than putting on a jacket or something crazy. But yeah, got my little croissants here. They're a day old, so they might be shit and stale, but who knows? And then, just in case, I've got the backup lemon chocolate Kipling. So yeah, man, that's it really. But I just kind of wanted to make this video to sort of update you lot, whoever may care, whoever you lot may be, on what I've been doing. I've been kind of MIA. I've been kind of missing. It's fucking pigeons just right there. It's just 3 of them congregating. Yeah, fly away. Ah! And yeah, so I've just sort of been taking this time to reflect. Off the back of my last video, you lot thought I might have been like depressed or something, which I was. Not depressed, I wouldn't go that far, but I was definitely not in the right state of mind, the right frame of mind. A lot of things were getting to me, a lot of things were in my head. And I've always had issues with like dealing and coping with my own mental self and like being trapped in my own head, being trapped in my own thoughts. And how I used to get out of that was by writing. I used to write poetry. I'd sometimes make it into songs, sometimes just make it into like a poem. And yeah, that really helped me sort of get my pain out of my head and somewhere else, It's sort of, it's like the pain sort of flowed from here down through. Alright, man, I'm trying to... Maybe you outside wasn't the greatest call. But yeah, so as I was saying, it's like the pain flowed through my head, down through my body, into my fingertips, and then just straight into the phone or into the pen. And I've got a bunch of notes in like a little notebook. I've got so many notes on my phone. I've got like 500 or something. I'll check it now, actually. Yeah, so I've got all iCloud notes of 620. And of that, I would say like a good at least 470-ish are just poetry and songs and lyrics. And if I wanted to start a music career, I could do it all. Heartbreak, depression, love. Listen, I'd go straight to number 1, I'm telling you. Jokes aside though, yeah, I've just been taking this time to sort of reflect and really think about life. And I think a lot of people may be in the same position, thinking like me, that this has been like a waste of a year. This is a year of your life that you're never going to get back. And no one's really done anything because of the virus, because we've been cooped up in our houses. We've been imprisoned in our own houses, you could say, with family. And sometimes family is not always the best thing to be stuck with all the time, because you live with them constantly anyway. And I know for me, I've had like a kind of a hard relationship this year with my mum, at least for the second half of the year, after I'd lost my job and everything. I feel like she put a lot of pressure on me to find a job, like immediately, boom, 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 boom. And I was trying, I was really, really trying. And I just kept getting rejected from everything and everyone. It got to the point where I just stopped trying for a bit. And I was like, fuck, like, I'm scrub, I'm a bum, like, I'm not gonna do anything. And that's when I sort of stopped doing anything. And my biggest mistake in that period of time was I stopped doing everything and anything. And I didn't do YouTube, I didn't stream. And that was like the last 2-3 weeks now. I haven't really had motivation just because of everything that's been going on around in the world. And it's like, just as I was getting back on my feet with gym, going back into a routine, we go into this tier 4 lockdown, which may be made into a tier 5 lockdown. And it's like all the bad things coming in. And I felt like, fuck, like, what can I do? What am I gonna do? And absolutely nothing. I then watched a streamer. His name's Devin Nash. And I managed to catch his stream sometimes. He's like a different kind of streamer. He talks about like business and what you should invest in, how to build a brand, online marketing and stuff like that, because he owns an agency of some sort. I found this out yesterday. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so I watched Devin Nash and I literally managed to catch like the last, 5-10 minutes of his stream one day. I think it was on Boxing Day, yeah, 26th of December. And he was talking about how he's single, he's alone, he's I wouldn't say old, but he's quite old. I think he's like in his late 30s, maybe 40s. He's a boomer, let's say it that way. And yeah, he was talking about how this is the perfect time for somebody who is single, who is alone, who... Oh my God. This is the perfect time. It's just, why is it like, it's the same shit when I'm filming auditions, because I film it right behind these curtains, yeah? Like, it's dead. The whole day it's dead. And then just as soon as we start doing something, it's like fucking, I don't know, Metropolis out here. Like, it's just bullshit, man. As I was saying, yeah, Devin Nash, of course. Sorry, I lost my train of thought because of all this. Even this now, what is happening, man? It's just like the biggest dick competition for who's got the loudest engine. Anyways, third time, fourth time maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna count it as a third. Third time lucky. Devin Nash, and so I caught the last 5-10 minutes of his stream, and he was talking about how this is the perfect time for you to be alone, for you to be in your own head, kind of, because it's the perfect time. Jeez. It's the perfect time for reflection. It's the perfect time for thinking about what you're going to be doing next year, next season. You're planning. This right here is, it's the off season. We're doing our off-season workouts, our pre-season trainings, and trying to find out what we want to be doing next year. This is the perfect time, and that's what I've been doing. Instead of thinking about what a waste of a year this was, and how being 21 from November to November was essentially a waste of time. I only really got to live throughout December, January-ish, because then I was doing my dissertation, and so I was cooped up at home and going into the library anyway, constantly. Like, that was pretty much my cycle. Library, home. I pulled about, I don't know, a week's worth of all-nighters in the library, where I left at like 7, 8 a.m. That was kind of my life. So I guess that wasn't a waste, because obviously that's to do with university and that's something that I was doing. But it was kind of a waste, because you think about it, right? I finished uni, and now I sort of had the summer to get a job or to do something with my life. And I just didn't. I had nothing to do, because I graduated, and then 2 months later I got fired. So it was my intention, my aim. I never wanted to stay with Nike long term, but I wanted to stay there until at least like this time next year. And because of the pandemic and stuff, like I definitely would have wanted to stay there for as long as possible. But obviously sometimes life just throws things at you when you're least expecting it. My mum likes to say bad things come in threes, and that would have been my second bad thing. So I guess I'm still waiting for the third, unless I count this whole pandemic as a third, in which case the good thing is on the horizon. It's just there, it's within reaching distance. That was weird. Instead of looking at it from a negative perspective, because it's very easy to look at things in a negative way. It's very easy to look at the bad rather than the good. I've always said this, and it's the truth. You do 10 great things and then you make one mistake. Everyone's going to remember you for that one mistake you do. No one's going to talk about, no one's going to celebrate your 10 good things you've done. It's not like, sorry, that's 9 great things. You've got a 90% success rate. Good job. No, they're going to talk about that 10% that they missed out on. That 10% that you fucked up with. And that's just human nature. That's just how life is. And so it's very easy to focus on the negative, and it's very easy to plan for the negative. And so even like next year, I think the worst thing you could do is to plan for something bad. Of course, have a backup there. It's important that you kind of have a plan for the worst. Like, I made sure that if anything was to happen to me job-wise, like I had enough money in my account that I could survive and live from while I search for another job in this limbo between jobs. And that's the reason why I am okay. I need to cut back on like spending on food and clothes and video games and shit, which is why I haven't done that. I got a PS5 and I've got no games. I've got 2 games, and both of them I got on sale, just because you have to be smart with your money, especially when you're in this situation. But yeah, going back to, I keep diverging off the main point of the video. This video is going to be fucking long as well, by the way. I'm so sorry. You can just put it in the back, I guess, listen to it like a podcast. It's like a one-man podcast. Anyways, again, on topic. I reflected on the good things that happened this year, rather than the bad. Just think about the good, and then plan for next year. Plan for everything that's good. And when I was younger, when I was about 16 to 18, I used to write my goals down on a piece of paper, not on my phone, because on your phone it's all digital, you know, it's in the cloud. It doesn't really exist. But on a piece of paper, that way it was physical, it was there. And I used to write down goals, and I used to write down these like objectives that I had for the whole year. And some of them were just like really trivial, like to be honest, to be thankful, to be appreciative, to be giving. And then there were other ones which were like, which were a lot more specific to like a career or towards a certain path that I was going towards. Yeah, when I was 16, if I remember correctly, I might try and find it actually. I wrote that I wanted to find an acting agent, an agency. At that point in time, I wasn't a part of the agency. I hadn't gotten an agent. I was just doing freelance shit off of Star Now, auditioning here and there, and sort of just taking what was coming. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So I guess when you put things into that physical thing, you know, it really manifests itself. It's like, you know how people say you should have positive thoughts and, you know, the law of attraction. I really do believe in it. Anyways, after all the traffic's gone, because, you know, I'm living in fucking like downtown New York. Where was I? Yeah, so it really is, like, your thoughts really do mold your reality. And you are a subject of your thoughts. You are sort of, like, you're always in your own head, you know, no matter how hard you try not to be, you're always going to be in your own head. And your thoughts are also a reflection of you. You know, if your house is like a fucking pigsty and it's messy and it stinks, then when you step out of your house, even if you've showered, you're also still going to stink. You're going to be messy, you're going to look messy, you're going to care less. And ultimately, as I said, it's your house is a reflection of you. And this right here is like your permanent house. You can never get rid of it. The only way is obviously to die. And so, you know, you have to make your mental living space a nice place to live in, because that's going to be a reflection of you. And if you have negative thoughts and if you have negative feelings, you know, of course, I'm not saying be positive all the time. Be positive, whoa, and giving you a motivational speech right here. No, I'm just being very real with you. And so you want to build a positive space for you to live in, a positive thing for you to radiate. And I think that's the most important part. That's the most important part of your life, like you personally, because at the end of the day, you're not here living a life for your mother, for your brother, your sister, your auntie, your best friend, your husband, your wife, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend. You came into this world alone. Even if you're a twin, one of you came out before the other. You came into this world alone, and you're going to go out of it alone, and you're going to live through everything you go through by yourself. Only you feel the way you feel towards a certain thing, because you don't share a hive mind with anyone else. And so because of that, you need to build the type of house in your head. You need to build the environment that you're happy reflecting and happy showing off to the world. And if all that is negativity and focusing on bad and doing this and, oh my god, this happened, oh my god, that happened, you need to, I guess, shape your own destiny, shape your own image. I don't really wear like the biggest designer shit, and I don't get fresh trims. You know, if I take off my hat right now, my hairline's shit, my nose is massive, I've got huge lips, but it doesn't mean that I think of myself any less than the next guy. But at the same time, I still have those insecurities. I still have those negative thoughts about myself, where I do think, you know, what if I looked like this guy? What if I looked more like Chris Brown? What if I looked more like this model here? Why am I not like that? Like, I am ugly, I'm shit. But the most important thing is limiting those thoughts. How long are you going to maintain that way of thinking before you think about the next positive thing in your life? And to wrap the video up, don't focus on the negatives that happened this year. Don't focus on the lockdowns. Don't focus on, you know, how much money you lost, or your lost job, or how much weight you gained, and little trivial things like that, which can be changed. Think about how you've grown as a person. Think about everything you're grateful for, everything you're thankful for, your parents, your family, if that's them, the money you maybe made off the stock market, off of trading, off of selling trainers, or selling clothes on Depop. you've become a little entrepreneur. Like, there you go. You're this tiny little achievement, which you may think is small, now when you think about it, is massive. I'm an entrepreneur. You've basically started off your own business model, your own business plan, and that right there is a selling point. That's your USP. And I think it's very important that we as people do take time out for ourselves to have this reflection. I don't really reflect like this ever. Focus on the small things, and celebrate those wins. Celebrate them as if it's the UEFA Cup Champions League finals and you've just won it. It's very easy to focus on the overwhelming negativity that's happening in the world. And the world right now is in such a bad place. There's so much evil that sometimes all you do see is negativity. When you're constantly on your phone and your phone is on like this and you're looking through all your notifications, like I don't delete my notifications because I try not to spend time on my phone. But sometimes I do. I fall into that trap. And then all I see is all of this crap, and it gets to you, mentally gets to you. That's why sometimes you just need to detox. And as I said, celebrate the small wins in your life. You may feel powerless to help things that are out of your control in the world right now. So that's why what I like to say is, I want to make my own personal world, people who are close to me and around me, I want to make our world a great place. I want to make our world as good a place as possible. And I try and do that with these videos. What pigeon? Came right in, like literally sat down, like kind of on Jesus. What kind of daredevil bullshit? Anyways, as I was saying, I try and make this like local economy, this local world, the world that's close to me, as good as possible through these videos, through streaming, through little messages here and there, just checking in. I don't call people enough. I am aware of that. I don't talk to people enough. Everyone's out today. But ultimately, I just feel like when you're positive, you attract positivity. And if you're positive to other people and you make other people feel better, then it's going to come back to you somehow. Whether it's immediately, instant karma, whether it's later on in 2-3 years or in 2 weeks or in 6 days. If you radiate positive energy and you make sure that you try and have these positive thoughts and you construct this positive environment for your mindset to live in, for your brain to live in, then it's going to make your life better. It's going to be hard at first because you're not used to it. You're used to thinking about negatives. And that's why I'd say just focus on the small things. Try and think about, make a list of 10 good things that happened to you this year. And they can be as big or as little as you want. They can be it can be tiny. It can literally be, I learned how to use the oven, or I learned how to use the washing machine. That is a life skill that's going to be with you now for the rest of your life. So you think that's tiny, it's huge. It's fucking massive. You're going to be able to cook for the rest of your life now, and you're going to be able to wash your clothes for the rest of your life. So yeah, that's kind of all I have to say really. Just be positive and don't let negativity get to you. I know that's really cliche to say, and it's also easier said than done, but really, really try and really use these last few days of 2020 to plan what you want to do for 2021. Plan everything, And as I said, it can be as big or as little as you want. It can be as career and focused and centric, or it can be to do with the game. You want to reach prestige 15 on COD next season or some shit. I haven't played COD in a minute, so I don't know. Just write it down in physical, manifest it, and sort of do a review, quarterly review, a half-year review, and then review it at the end of 2021. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be writing up my list in the next day or two. I'm sort of compiling a couple bullet points, and I'm just going to write it all out nicely, neatly, by hand as well. I like to write things by hand. When it's something personal, I like it by hand because it's a part of me, rather than typing up and printing it. It's again all done digitally. It's a plane above my head now, so this is perfect time to end this and say, thanks for watching. Sorry, the video is going to be fucking long, but that is what happens when you have this one-man podcast set up outside. It's fucking cold. Don't know if you can see my breath, but I can. Make sure you like and you subscribe and you do all that good stuff. Share the video out. I really hate self-promoting, but I kind of have to. But yeah, that's kind of it. Your homework is to write your own list. Be positive. Don't focus on the negatives. And most of all, to just take care. I'm going to see you later.